What's up, y'all? It's Shave Lizard back with another video, and today we're doing a schedule review for the USC Trojans. We have their whole schedule down here, and I'm going to be putting them on this tier list, whether or not it will be a easy game, difficult game, really difficult, so on and so forth. I will be ranking their schedule difficulty, like A, B, C tier, and their what I think is their projected record. I have almost no bias here because I am not a fan of the Pac-12, and that is USC's conference. I don't have anything against the Pac-12. Before we get started, I just wanted to bring up that last year USC went 4-8. That is very bad. The 2021 USC football team played a close game with the Arizona Wildcats, who lost to Northern Arizona University, an FCS team. They did very poorly last year. Lost to Stanford, Oregon State, Utah, Notre Dame, Arizona State, UCLA. UCLA, they let up 62 points to. Embarrassing. Lost to BYU, and they lost to Cal. Somehow they lost to Cal. Also, USC currently has the number 2 transfer rating. That's pretty good. They only have 8 kids that have signed the letter of intent. That probably won't be a factor next year. But the transfers this year, they're getting Caleb Williams, the great quarterback from OU, as well as a new head coach, Lincoln Riley, from OU. They're also getting all of these other players: Alabama, Auburn, Oregon, Stanford, OU, lots of OU kids, Colorado, OU, Kansas State, Washington, Virginia, TCU. These are all transfers. They have experience on the field, at least most of them, I think. But they know what they're doing. They're better than the kids right out of high school, so they will likely be making a big impact. Maybe not big. They will likely be making an impact as soon as the season starts. Just because they went 4-8 last year doesn't mean they can't turn around and have a good schedule. Just wanted to show you all of that in case you didn't know already. Now, let's actually get into this. Ranking these teams. Rice, I think this should be an easy game, easy win, warm-up for USC. Gonna put them in the 2 easy category. They're a Conference USA team. I don't think that should be a problem. Now, here we got Stanford. Last year, they lost to Stanford. Like, really? Stanford. Stanford was bad. I'm going to put this game in the... Well, it's in Stanford, so I'm going to put it in the challenging category. I would probably put it somewhere between easy and challenging, but still, they lost to him last year. Yeah, they have a new head coach. That's usually not good in the first season, but they have a great quarterback. I'm still going to put them in the challenging category. Next up, we have Fresno State. I feel like they did pretty well last year in the Mountain West Conference. They were ranked for a couple of weeks. I'm going to put them in the easy category. I believe they upset UCLA last year, another team that's on USC's schedule. We'll get to them later. Next up, we have Oregon State. Last year, USC lost to Oregon State 45-27 at home. Now, I don't really see Oregon State as a great team, but I'm going to say this game is going to be challenging for them because it's in Oregon on the road, playing Beavers, who they lost to last year. Of course, they lost to most of these teams, most of these conference teams last year. Hey y'all, quick editor's note. I just remembered I saw this video of the demolishing of the side of the OSU stadium, and I was just curious about whether or not they were actually going to play there next year, and I believe they are from what I've read, but it's a possibility that they don't. I don't know. I don't feel like it's been very clear. I know they play one game in Portland versus Montana State, but I'm not sure. I know that their stadium won't be done. I'm just not sure if they're playing their home games at their stadium or at a different stadium. But, you know, it's not at USC. The game isn't at USC, so it is an away game. Still, Oregon State's not bad, but I don't think they're that great. But it's in Oregon, so they have home field advantage. Now, whether or not that will make a big impact, I don't know. Next up, we have Arizona State. I'm going to put this in the challenging category also. It's at the Coliseum. Arizona State's not bad. USC did lose to Arizona State last year, though, 31-16. I'm still putting them in the challenging category. They went bowling. They played a close game with Wisconsin, I think it was. I don't know. Arizona State, just challenging. They're pretty mediocre in the Pac-12. I think they were close to the top of their division last year. I'm not sure if they finished. I don't think they finished at the top. Yeah, it was Utah. But they might have been like second or third in their division. Next up, we have Washington State. I'm probably going to, well, let's see what happened last year. They did beat Washington State. Now, Washington State had like 7 wins last year. They lost to Central Michigan in their bowl game. I'm gonna put this game in the easy category. They've got Caleb Williams. I don't know. I think he's gonna make a big impact. I don't know if it'll be that big though. I'm gonna leave Washington State in the easy category. Next up, we have Utah. I'm gonna put Utah in the pretty hard category. It would be crazy if USC was able to upset Utah. Utah won the Pac-12 last year and probably should have won the Rose Bowl, but Ohio State decided to knock out their quarterback with only minutes to go. Anyway, Utah seems like the most dominant team in the Pac-12 as of right now-ish, kind of. So they're going to be in the pretty hard category. Next up, we have Arizona at Arizona. I'm going to put this game in the easy category just because Arizona is garbage. Now, I think Arizona should get a lot better. Maybe not a lot, but they should get better this coming year. But I don't think they'll be too much better. They probably won't go bowling. I'm going to say they'll have 3 or 4 wins. But it's Arizona. They're not very good. Yeah, they played a close game with them last year. Yeah, 41-34. It is at Arizona. I don't really feel like that'll make a big difference. I think USC should definitely walk away with a win. Next up, we have Cal. I'm putting Cal in the challenging category. It's at home at the Coliseum. Sorry, these Rice and the Cal logo are pretty dark. You can't really see them, but they're there. Cal's in the challenging category. Cal was definitely not good last year, but they were able to walk away with the win over USC. That was actually a close game. You know what? I am going to change my ranking for Cal. I think Cal will probably be an easy win for USC. We still have the new head coach. I don't know. USC pretty much hit rock bottom. I think they're going to get a lot better this year. Anyway, Cal in the easy category now. Colorado. The Buffalo, they aren't very good. Just not very good. And they also had 2 guys transfer, a corner and a receiver. 2 guys transferring from Colorado to USC. Also, Austin Jones transferring from Stanford to USC. I think there's the only other teams that they have transfers from that they're gonna play this year. Anyway, Colorado, I wouldn't, if I was a USC fan, I wouldn't really be worried about Colorado. I'm gonna put them in the easy category. Next up, we have UCLA at UCLA. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a pretty hard game. I don't feel like UCLA was that great last year. As I said earlier, they lost to Fresno, but you know, it's at UCLA. This is a pretty big rivalry. I think it will be a good game to watch. Next up, we have Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. They have a new head coach. He was one of their coordinators. This is USC versus Notre Dame. Last year, how much did they lose by last year? That wasn't that bad. I think this is gonna definitely be a pretty hard game to win. I might even put it in the impossible category. I'm not gonna put it in the impossible category. I'm gonna leave Notre Dame right there in the pretty difficult category. So that wraps up the ranking of the teams. Now for the schedule difficulty. I would say that USC is going to play 1, 2, maybe 4 different ranked teams over the course of their season. Probably 3. One of these other teams will probably sneak up into the top 25 poll. So only potentially 4 ranked opponents. I'm gonna give USC a C for their schedule difficulty. You have Rice. That's a win. These aren't like great teams. I would say that some of them are just glorified American teams. They could be. Like Colorado, I think they'd probably do fine in the American. Lots of these teams. Of course, you do have your Notre Dame, your Utah, UCLA. Yeah, I would think that those would be, Utah and Notre Dame will probably be your at least 2 ranked teams when USC plays them. What about this year's schedule for USC? I think Notre Dame's the last. Yeah, Notre Dame is the last week. UCLA is the second to last week. They play Utah in week 7. I think Utah will still be ranked by that time. The other team I could see getting ranked is probably Arizona State, hanging in there at around 20. But yeah, these just aren't fantastic teams. That's why I'm giving them a C. Finally, we have projected record. I've looked at this a couple of times, and I've decided that with the new head coach and with all of their transfers, second best in the country after Ole Miss, I think, I'm gonna say that USC goes 8-4. That's a pretty big turnaround from 4-8. I'm gonna say that USC gets lucky. Maybe not just gets lucky, or maybe they're like actually legit. I think they'll probably go 8-4. That's not bad. That's a really big turnaround from 4-8. With a brand new head coach, really good quarterback. You've got all these other transfers from Power 5 schools. Yeah, all from Power 5 schools. That doesn't necessarily mean they're good, but I don't know. You've got a lot of transfers. Your kids from last year are getting better. New head coach. I'm gonna say USC goes 8-4. That'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out the other videos in this series. I have done Penn State, BYU, and Baylor so far. I am looking to do more very soon. Go check out some of my other series. I have a 96 team tournament series where I took the top 96 teams in one of the ranking systems, whatever, put them in a tournament like March Madness. We're going through that right now. A couple games in already. Go check out my ULM Warhawk Dynasty series. I play as the ULM Warhawks in the Sunbelt Conference, and I'm trying to take them to a national championship and win it. Anyway, that's all for this video, and until the next one, peace.